Howdy folks, welcome back to Fishing on Mile Arc, and yes, we are on a highway, because if you remember from the previous video, we ran out of fuel, and we landed in a neighborhood on a little island, of which I don't know its name, because I forgot to look it up. So just an editor's note, if I do remember to look it up, I'm going to put it across the bottom, otherwise we don't know where we are. We just know we're off the coast of where we intended to land, which is Baku in Azerbaijan. And we're in this neighborhood, and we got some fuel. It's not the right kind of fuel. Well, it is, but it's not the best kind of fuel. But it's enough to get us to where we want to go, and that's what this video is going to be. So it's probably going to be a short one. If everything goes as planned, it's going to be a very short video today. Which will be fine, because the other ones have been getting kind of long. But we're going to just finish our flight of what we intended, and then we will be on our merry way to what I had intended. So we're going to take off here. We got to get this plane going. So let's hop inside. We have tons of fuel, as much as they would give us. And where is my beginning of my checklist here? Okay, so fuel quantity. Look, we have way more fuel this time to go a short distance than we did the entire flight last time. But we're set there. So here we go. We're going to go in here. Parking brake is set. Generator on. Battery on. Check the 3 green. Yes. Barometer, altimeter, weather. Now we should be able to reach the ATIS. There we go, because we're close enough. So what does it say up there? I can't see. My resolution is so big. Don't care about that. No, this ATIS is for the airport where we're going, by the way. 3009. And we are runway 16. So 16, which means we're just going to take the same VOR in as last time. In case you don't remember, it was VOR 115, and we're coming in at 270, but today we're going to go inbound 100 plus 180 is 280, so we're going to go 28, there's 27 and 28. Well, we're done with you. Go away. So we're going to come in at 28, because 100, that's how I do it, is inbound 100, but it's for this, because I can't figure things out, I'm going to add 180, make it 280, and that's where we are right there. Inbound 280 on the VOR, and then that will take us visual to the runway. Then we'll do probably a right close traffic pattern, land on runway 16. So roll rudder still turned on, everything is fine. Sync those gyros. There we go. What is next? Make sure to reset the flight controls. Everything is good there. Our rudder pedal is working. Gonna come over here, carb heat off, and it is. Cowl flaps open. And they are. Strobe and position lights. Turn those on. Close the canopy. Let's do it from our main seat there, the left seat. All right, mixture rich. Pushed in. Props in. Throttle 1/4. Check the fuel gauge, and we're good there. Fuel shut off. That's in. That's on off. Fuel pump on. There it is. And push the starter. And watch this thing torque all over the place. There we go. Fuel pump off after engine runs smooth at 800. It already is. That's awesome. Gradually increases 1200 for engine warm up. Whoa, 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 whoa. There it is. When the oil temperature warms up, we will bring that down. So you can keep an eye on that temperature and that temperature. Sync the driver's already did. Do it again anyway. Doesn't hurt. And let's see. Make sure the flaps are up. And they are. There we go. Hydraulic power on. The light is lit. Lean the mixture. And taxi. We don't have a taxi. We're taking off right here. Not going to do a run up. We just want to get to dry land. Get to land and be safe. So landing lights come on. Where are they? Right there. Fuel pump on. Confirm. It is now. Note the time on the clock. I forgot to note the time in the previous flight until I edited it. I think it was like an hour and 10 minutes or something like that. Let's see. Next day, 10 a.m. the next day. Here we go. We're below 5,000 feet, so we don't have to worry about that. Flaps up. We're not going to use flaps to take off. Actually, yes. You know, yes, we should use flaps. We want to get off the ground as soon as possible here. So there's half flap. Flaps up right away. You have to bring back throttle after a minute. And takeoff speed at 70. Okay. Let's get on this way here. Boom. Hopefully we don't skid into another house. because that was a big bummer. It's like we're driving down the road. This is hilarious. We got to lift up between street signs. So, we got to, okay. Oh, it's taken off on its own. Avoid that street sign. Or not street sign, the street lamp. There we go. We had to do a little maneuver there to get around that street lamp. There's gear coming in. There's flaps coming in. We need to fly the plane from the inside, though. Not from the outside. Okay, step on the ball. Let's turn this thing right around. How come our VOR is agreeing with us? That's weird. I guess we're so close to the 100 inbound that it's lined up. There you go. There, we were too low to the ground. Okay. I should know better than that. So here we go. Now let's do autopilot right away because we're trimmed at about 80. So let's just go to track. And it should track us. And then we'll do alt hold in a little bit. Let's get our manifold back a little. And our props back a little. 27 and 22 or so. Can't even get to 22, so we're fine. And how come it straightened us out when it didn't go all the way to that track? Is it not tracking it? It was tracking it. I tell you, autopilot, man. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, we're doing almost 280 on there, so we're pretty close. Do I need to reset it? Do I need to redo it? Let's actually take advantage of this pop out. And let's do 28 on the nostril. Actually, a little bit more because I want to get closer to that. Let's do heading. Why are we going that way? 30. I want to get close to 30. What? Why am I chasing things? I should be chasing needles. 27. Oh, I guess because that loops that way. So it is going to be that way. Okay. These older gauges, man, it takes a lot to get used to sometimes. Oof. It can be tough. There we go. Because they swing the opposite direction what you're looking at. So if you want to go this way, we don't want to go towards 30. You want to go towards 24. So if that's going to work, that should line us up in a moment. Otherwise, everything is good. Yeah, just cruise and keep an eye on manifold pressure and props. Now I can bring props back a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep using our heading bug inbound, and then once we line that up better, I'll go back to track and see what's going on. I don't know why that started to track it and then gave up. We need to pick an altitude, and then we can do some sightseeing. We have ways to go, really. It's not that close. So let's go up to about 5 grand. Then I'll hit alt hold, and then we'll... Now it's tracking it right. It just needed a little bit of help. All right. Yeah, we'll get to about 5 grand, and then we'll do some sightseeing. Actually, we're going to stop at 4 grand, just because it'll be easier to come down. So let's do alt hold now. Right on the money, and that'll speed us up. Keep an eye on our temperatures. We're a little warm there. And our props are fine. And over here, we're good. And I don't know what that zigzag was, but it still kept us lined up. So I have no idea what's going on. But we can actually turn hydraulic power off. I missed out my checklist. I was so concerned about this other stuff. Otherwise, there should be an airport right here somewhere. Our emergency airport is going to be right here, I think. But our main one is there. So when we get to the VOR, this thing will go nuts. That's how we know we passed it. We'll look to the right. We'll see an airport, and then we'll be cleared to land visually at runway 16. And we'll probably be a nosedive because we're pretty high. But we got to go over the takeoff traffic, which they would just have us go around. If we had ATC, we'd be turning right now, joining the instrument approach with vectors because we don't have GPS. They'd vector us in, but we don't have any of that. So we're just going to fly till we see the airport. Stay some passage of the VOR, turn right, nosedive, land, hopefully smoother than last time. Actually, that wasn't a bad landing considering there were no flaps and no fuel, and we glided for half an hour. But we'll do better this time. All right, a little bit of sightseeing, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. So we're about to pass over what was going to be my emergency airport, although we never made it. That's just before the wing there. But then if you look out the window, we see our destination off to the right up there. So that's where we're landing, but we're going to land on the second runway. And this autopilot keeps doing weird stuff. But I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to take vectors from our imaginary ATC that we don't have. And we are going to stay out of the way of other traffic. So we're going to head perpendicular to the runway. So if it's 16, what's 16 plus 180? Actually, what are they calling it? They're calling it, that'd be 34. So we're going to use 34 as our number here to get away. So there's 34. I'm having a hard time seeing that, so I'm just going to come over here and do it. 30, nope, see, that's not right. 33, 34. There we go. Was that pop out different? No. That'd be funny. No. All right, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to come over here. We're going to use heading. So that turns us. And then we'll be parallel to the runway and land like a upwind leg far away. So we'll do this so I get about over the water. Then we'll circle back and descend. Maybe we'll descend a little bit before that. But otherwise, that's how we're going to approach this thing. We're pretending to be taking vectors from ATC to keep out of the way of other traffic. So there we go. I'll catch you in a moment. Alright, our airport is behind us. So we need to come down too. So we're gonna go left about now while we come down and have a short final. We should be fine with that. So let's turn off this autopilot. I think we can just go like this. There we go. And if you want to know how the autopilot works, we talked about in the previous video. I'm assuming everybody's watching this one saw the previous video. If not, I recommend you do. Alrighty, so let's bring throttles back. And we should start descending without doing anything else. There we go. And we know our runway is 16. So should be pretty much opposite where we are now. So we want to go this way 250, and that'll be perpendicular to the runway. I think I blew right through it. I can barely see those numbers. No, I think this is it. Yeah, here we go. We're going the right way. So 250 is this. So now we should be perpendicular to the runway. If I straighten out and look out the window, and we are, there it is. We know it's 900 feet, so let's get 900 plus 500, let's get 1400 feet. I think it said 900 feet, didn't it? Let's check that again. Pretty sure it was 900 feet. 9 feet. So let's get down to 500 feet above sea level. Props are forward. As I'm trying to do this and check my checklist, we already have our weather, mixture's full, fuel pump on, and it is. Landing lights already on, gear down too soon. Hydraulic pump on at 100 miles an hour. Well, we'll get there for a little bit. So at 100 miles an hour, fuel pump on and gear down. And then we will not use flaps because we have a very, very long runway. Let's keep an eye on where we're going because we are cleared to land visually on runway 16. Well, we're veered off a little bit here. We're kind of cutting it tight. So let's stay out at 250. We're going to be cutting it tight. And let's keep our speed up as well. We're going too slow, so let's use throttle so we don't descend as quickly while I point down to get our speed. Remember, throttle is your descent rate. Pitch is your speed. So I pitch down and go faster, but I didn't want to keep descending faster, so I gave some throttle. That's how that works. It seems backwards, but that's how it works. So right on 250, we're coming down. It's still comfortable. Still pretty comfortable. Hopefully we can get to 500 feet above sea level on final, then we'll start coming down. We have a very, very long runway, so we're going to take as long as we need to have a smooth landing. We will have a tiny, tiny crosswind from the left. Unless weather changed, but I'm pretty sure our crosswind will be from the left. Because, yeah, wind is coming from 120, and we're landing at 160. So it'll be a little bit from the left. Yeah, what is it? 6 knots? We'll notice it in the simulator. We'll notice it. All right, where is this runway? Let's level off a little bit so we don't lose sight of the runway. I know we're 1,300 feet up, but we need to be able to see where we are. Do we have a chance for sightseeing super quickly? I guess we're pretty stable and under control as we veer to the right. Now we veer to the left. There's your sightseeing, folks. Alright, we're about ready to be lined up at the runway. So here we go. Turning on to final. No more sightseeing. Let's slow down to 100 miles per hour, it says on this one. And looking for a runway, and there it is. Alright, it says we're a little low, so let's level off. So we'll use throttle to level off. But I'm also going to pull up a little bit. Oh, now we're 2 and 2. So now let's keep our descent at 500 feet per minute or so. Bring back throttles because I'm going to lift. I'm going to point up to slow us down, but I don't want to ascend, so we bring throttles back to stay above 500. Throttles back more to stay at 500. We will execute a slight crosswind landing. So in this case, left wing down, right rudder. Left main touches first, then right main, then nose wheel. Gear. What we need hydraulic. Hydraulic. The gear coming down. Carburetor ice. Okay. Carb heat. Where's carb heat? Let's pull that out. And let's do first set. No, we're not doing flaps, I said. Flaps, I get the impression based on the POH that flaps are not recommended unless you really need them. We don't really need them because we have a very long runway. Using throttle to level off because we're coming down too much based on the PAPI. Gears confirmed down. We have 3 green. We're going to keep our speed at about 100. Well, that was weird. Must have been a weather update. Keep our speed at 100. And then using throttle to control our descent. So once we get white on that PAPI, we'll bring back throttles a little bit. Final approach is 75, which is that first white hash mark right here. Final touchdown is 55, which is where the arc ends, but we don't have flaps, so it's going to be a little faster than that probably. And then flaps up, well, no, it says flaps up right away, but we're not using flaps. And then nose up until 50. So now there's let the nose touch down itself. All right, here we go. We need to slow down and come down. So throttle's back. So we descend, nose up, so we slow down. The final approach is 75. And we will lose speed very quickly, so we need to be careful and focused and concentrating. Fortunately, the wind does not seem to be affecting us at all, which is kind of how it should be. All right. 2 and 2 on the PAPI, so we'll come down about 500 feet per minute. That's my default if I don't know the glide slope. I just pick 500. Now it says we're a little too low. So let's slow down this descent. 75. We're losing speed quickly, though, because we don't have flaps. So let's not slow down any more than that. And a little bit of throttle so we don't descend so quickly. And let's touch down. We are free to touch down. Now we're past the threshold. So we are floating nice and slow, almost too floaty. Throttle's back. And nose wheel off the ground. Right in the touchdown zone. And silky smooth. And we're even centered. Nose wheel down very gently. And get on those brakes. Right rudder, lots of right rudder for some reason. No flaps to bring in. So we're going to roll this out. It's going to be a very long rollout. Alright, looks like we have a turnoff coming here. In fact, I happened to notice the flight time this time. It was about 27 minutes or so, 26 minutes. So let's use the brakes a little bit here. There we go. But I just love this old school flying. Having to tune in old radios, even though sometimes I twist the dials backwards sometimes. But that happens. Alright, lean the mixture a little bit. There we go. Alrighty, but I just love this old school stuff. Using your dials and trusting them. Any errors are pilot errors, not the instrument errors, usually. Alright, let's see. Where are we going? Don't know. Let's see if we can taxi while we zoom way out and have a look at this airport. Looks like beyond the tower there's some hangars. So let's go beyond the tower and we'll see what's there. It's going to take me quite a while. I'm not going to drag you with me. I'll just see you when we get there. So over by the tower, those aren't hangars, those are like fuel things. So we're actually going to just take our next way out of here, providing there is one, and then go back a little bit towards what looks like jetways and a storage facility or a warehouse of some type. We'll just go there. So I'm assuming that gray in front of us is a road back, I hope. Otherwise we'll just end up wherever we end up, I guess. Otherwise, let's see, do we have a checklist we should be looking at? No. Flaps should already be up. Note the time on clock, and we did. Fuel pump can come off. I guess we can do that. And lean the mixture we already did. Landing lights can come off now since we're about to approach civilization. And then there's nothing left to land or to the shutdown checklist, which we'll have in a moment. And let's just keep going here. We're about there. It's been a 7-minute taxi, and it's been the longest 7 minutes of my life, it feels. So yeah, we're just gonna head over here and kind of go towards this warehouse I think I saw. Yeah. So there's the big planes at the jetways. We're gonna park on this other side, and then we'll be investigated for a little crash landing. Then hopefully they check it out and fix us up if we need to, so that we can continue on our next flight, which the next flight will be in this aircraft. And then we'll do a few others, and then we're going to keep going west through this part of the world in this aircraft with other flights in between. I think that's what we'll do. I'm really, really, really enjoying this aircraft, which was freeware when I got it. I don't know if it still is, but it's freeware at this time as far as I know. It's one of my favorites. I love the old stuff. Alright, let's see. We're going to pull up behind this building. Actually, no, let's go next to it so the people in the parking lot can see us and show off a little bit. I don't know why we're picking up speed. I've had throttles back for a very long time. And we're idling at like 40 miles an hour or 30 miles an hour. Let's see here. Yeah, we're just going to pull up right about here. Let's start slowing down because these brakes are awful. I have them set to medium because some planes won't stop if it's set any lower. So I just keep them at medium. I could set up profiles or have different buttons for different brakes or whatever. But let's just come out here and let's stop right here. Set the parking brake and to shut this down. First of all, hydraulics come off. Let's put that back in. Strobe and lights, strobe and position lights can come off. Idle for 3 minutes at 700 RPMs. We'll pretend we did that. Shut off the engine. Turn off the ignition. Generator and battery come off. And radios come off with battery. There you go. Let's open the canopy. And we made it, folks. We made it to our original destination before we ran out of fuel previously. But here we are in Azerbaijan. And just have a look at this awesome airport that somebody modeled. Look at that, the jetways, the buildings. I guess there's some hangars way back there, but there's no way we're going to make it back there. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. Not much of an outro. I assume if you wanted to subscribe, you would. But I'll ask anyway. Please like, please subscribe, please share with your friends. If you have a flight idea, put it in the comment section below. And I do take flight requests. I put them ahead of my own flights. As long as flight time is like less than an hour and a half, I'll do it. But it has to be with the aircraft I already have. Otherwise, we're getting closer to 1,000 subs. We're picking up about 2 subs a day. It's not really about the numbers, because I'd be doing this exactly the same way, even if there were one of you. But I admit it is exciting when I get subscribers and more interest. And that's all I've got to say for that. What a beautiful airport. Wow, gorgeous. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. I certainly did, and I'll catch you on the next one.